Okay, it says it's streaming live.
Okay, it's live. Okay, well, we are here with EJ, our lupus warrior. You from? She said she's from Texas. Am I correct?
Yes.
Texas.
Yes.
Yeah, she said that weather is bipolar, like lupus. It's raining here in Alabama, so it was raining all night long. And we know how that can go with our bodies with the weather changing. It's terrible. So
Yes.
we are here and I'm so grateful. But we want I'm sorry, EJ, to share her story today. Can you share your personal journey with lupus when you were diagnosed and how it has impacted your life?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, my name is EJ. Yes, EJ is a lupus warrior. And to share my journey, before I was diagnosed with lupus, I was working two jobs. I was doing home health care and I was also working at the airport. Working at the airport, I was working in multiple restaurants, and it was a task. I had two children. I had one was 3, one was 4. My husband was a stay at home dad, so he was basically mom and dad while I went out and I do my thing. I have a one track mind. I have a family. I have to do what I have to do no matter how I felt. But I was feeling the symptoms and didn't know that it was lupus. I used to have to catch the metro. I had to walk 3 blocks to get to the metro. And it was just happened one day. My leg was hurting. My foot was hurting, and I didn't know where that pain was coming from. My foot was so swollen to where it was times where I couldn't even pick my foot up because it hurted too bad to pick it up. So I ended up being on crutches going on like 3 months. And being on them crutches, I still was walking to the bus stop because I had to go to work. Then it got to the point to where I started slowing down and my face looked like it was turning yellow. And I had a coworker. She was like a mom to everyone. And she was like, "Baby, you need to go to the emergency room." I said, "Mom, I can't afford to go to the emergency room. At the moment, I'm trying to get my credit together so we can have a house and a car." And she looked at me and she said, "Baby," she said, "that's good and everything. I know that you're an angel. I love your personality. But baby, when you die and I go to your funeral, I'ma tell them that you had good credit." So that stuck with me. Yeah, I was going to so many urgent cares and they just kept giving me medicine and telling me, "Oh, you just overworking yourself, you're tired." But the pain was just so unbearable. I had no choice but to go to the emergency room. So I told my husband, I said, "Babe, I can't take this no more. The pain is just too unbearable. I can't push anymore." So I went to the emergency room and the doctor said, "Ma'am, thank you. If you would have waited one more day, you would have died." I lost so much blood to where I had to get a blood transfusion. And 4 days later, on Thanksgiving, the doctor told me that I had lupus. And
Wow.
and I'm the type of person to where you just give it to me straight so I can go back to work.
Right.
And he told me, and I said, "Oh, okay then." And then then everybody looked at me like, "Really? He just told you that you have a disease." And I'm saying, "Okay,
Yes.
okay. So can I get my paperwork so I can go back to work?"
Wow.
And and ever since then, y'all, it has been a fight because it slows me down from doing what I usually do. I'm a get up and go person. I got stuff to do, but my lupus, it stops me from getting up sometimes. So sometimes when I wake up, I feel like I'm still asleep. I'm still sleepy, and I'm forcing myself to get up because I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work to the 8 to 5. My kids gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to school. But I'm so dragging. I'm dragging so much and stuff, but I'm saying to myself, I need to get up because these kids got to go to school. They can't afford to miss school. My kids are A and B students. My oldest, she's in the gifted and talented class, so I have to make sure she get to those programs and stuff. And but my lupus, it makes my head hurt. I've had a heart attack. I've and that scared me so much and stuff because when my chest started feeling like that elephant is on top of it,
Wow.
I was like, no, it's not my time.
Mm-hmm.
I still got things to do. So
Yes.
please don't give out on me right now. And then just recently I had a gastroparesis where I had ulcers in my stomach that was eating the lining of my stomach, and it was like every time that I tried to move, the motion made me want to throw up, and I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't all every food that I enjoy, and I love seafood, and I love Chinese food, and it's like every time I tried to eat my favorite food, my 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 stomach just wouldn't hold it. I'll be at work standing at the register, and I'm throwing up, and I'm just bringing up the next customer after I done threw up, and and then my recent hospitalization. I had pneumonia in my left lungs and my kidney levels were so high. I had my fever was so high to where they had to get a specialist from out of state to come and examine me because they couldn't figure out where the fever was coming from. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, look, if y'all can't figure it out and stuff, I know what it is. It's my
Yes.
lupus. It's my lupus. Y'all these doctors. I need y'all to understand, bro, that lupus affects everything. It affects your heart, your lungs. I've had issues with my lungs because I smoke cigarettes. And with smoking cigarettes, yes, that makes the the process more worse.
Yours.
and
Yes.
and and I
I
and I
smoke.
understand that part and stuff. And trust me, your girl is on the path of stopping smoking cigarettes because now
That's the
the doctor told me that I need two new kidneys, and the only way that your girl can get a kidney is unless my body is completely clean. And yes, with dialysis, it does clean your system. Yeah, I have friends that have tried to get me to drink and say, "Oh, you got dialysis tomorrow; they'll clear it out."
wow.
No, I'm on that path and stuff to where look, I got children, and
Yes.
I gotta have a clear a clear mind, a
Mm-hmm.
clear mind. I can't drink, I can't smoke, I can't do none of that and stuff because I have to be ready for anything because kids get into everything.
Yes.
But that's my journey. I'm learning every day. I'm doing me and my family, we're doing the research of how lupus affects everything, whether you pregnant, whether you old, whether you a baby. I'm looking because I want to know and stuff. I didn't have lupus before I had my children. I had it after I had my children. But I at the point, me and my husband wanted one more. But when I asked the doctor about having another one and stuff, they told me, baby, I'm gonna be honest with you. You can't have no more kids.
Wow.
If you do, the baby is gonna come out with health problems. Maybe be autistic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. The way things is going in my life, well that I can't afford to deal with another child,
Yes.
especially a child with problems, because
Yes.
I'm sick, I'm in and out the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I have two other kids and stuff that loves me dearly, and they get jealous of each other.
Yes. Yes. So, what age did you find out you had lupus?
I believe I was 24.
Wow.
I was 24.
24. What's your
I was
age
still
now?
kicking. I'm 33.
Okay. Yes. Blessing. So, how old are your kids?
My oldest is 10 and my second born is 9.
Sorry, my internet messing up. Hello. Oh, come on, get back right. It's messing up. Oh, it's freezing up. Let's see. Okay. One moment, y'all. Let me see if she can log back in. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's my internet connection.
Got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to school. But I'm so dragged. All right, I had some technical issues.
No problem. We're back. Thank you for coming back.
Yes, but my oldest, he's 10, and my second born, he's just turned 9.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And I definitely understand when you say, it's harder when you're trying to have, if you want to have any more kids, it's hard with the ones you have. Like, that's how it was with me. And I end up having another one. Well, he's 6, but my oldest one's one will be 18 like next month or 2 months from now, and the other one is 20. So it was a little older when I found out I had lupus. But I did know I have had lupus when I had my 6-year-old. So I definitely had to get my life on track because I knew he couldn't do, certain things for himself.
Right,
And when you speaking of, having a baby, it's a lot of challenges. My son was definitely a challenge because it was hard to hold him, carry him in a car seat, taking him upstairs because I lived upstairs at the time. You know, it was rough.
right, right. Trust me, I understand. Like, it seemed like, uh, and this is a joke, but it seemed like every place that my husband chooses, we stay upstairs, and
Yeah,
it's hell trying to get up and down them stairs, especially
yeah.
when you start having the flare up time.
What you say? I know it. And if you have any joint problems,
Yes,
pain in your ankle, swelling, it's terrible. And when I was holding my son, I found out I also had gout in my shoulders. I already suffered with osteoarthritis and fibromyalgia on top of it. So I knew like I had to start doing right by my body because it was failing on me. And like you said, certain things that you couldn't eat, it's certain things I couldn't eat no more. And it'll mess up my stomach so bad. Or, right now I'm fully on basically almost all soft food, except if I eat me some nuts or something. But other than that,
hmm,
basically plant based. And I wouldn't have gotten here if it wasn't for lupus, if it wasn't for how lupus did me, or how, my teeth and everything started falling out. I'm thankful that, it helped me get on this journey but it wasn't an easy journey,
right,
it's not an easy journey. It does change you. Like it
right.
changes.
They're like it, and by you saying change, it's you are 100% correct. For
Yeah.
me, for me, how it changed me,
Mhm.
it made me want to be around my family more.
Yes.
It because since the last time I've been in the hospital, my children has become more clingy. If I go to the store, one of them be ready to hop up in the car and be like, I'm coming with you because I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Oh, it's so
And
sweet.
and I'm just going down the street to get me some ice.
Yes.
Just give me a cup of ice, but they want to hop in the car and be like, I got you. let let me push the basket, and half of the time I be needing the basket so I can hold my balance. This experience have brung me and my family more closer together. Like I've always been close to my children because I'm
Yeah.
like the spoiler. My husband,
Yeah.
he's the tough guy, and I'm the one that gives them the snacks so they can be all hyped up to get on his nerves.
Yes.
So and then if made me be more aware of my surroundings and what I like we're not even supposed to be outside in the sun.
You're
And
right.
and I try to wear, protective coat
Mhm.
sometime. I do put on sunscreen. That's in aloe vera, that's important, y'all. With lupus,
Yes.
you have to have sunscreen and aloe vera because that sun will burn you. Like you've been
Right.
outside playing on the beach.
Yes, it definitely will flare you up. Mhm.
And my food, what I eat, um, I don't eat as much as I used to. I used to be the type of person that eat like I'm three people,
Me
but
too.
but now I eat like a toddler, and I be trying to snack throughout the day so I can get that energy because if it was up to me, I wouldn't eat at all, you know.
Yes,
But I would have to eat so that I can have that energy to work and I don't pass out,
true.
and all that medicine that we have to take. I, I, I,
It's a lot.
it bothers me that I have to take so much medicine. Like
Mm-hmm.
some, I even get to the point where I make a joke about my medicine. I'm like, this my blood pressure medicine. This the
Mm-hmm.
one to get me in the Christmas spirit. This the one to take me off the Christmas spirit. I
Yes.
joke about it and stuff to help me not to be sad that I have lupus, that that it limits me from doing
Mm-hmm.
things. So I joke about it, and I'm not trying to tell y'all to joke about it, but
Right.
if but you do what you got to do to be able to cope.
Exactly. You have to.
You do
You
what you got to
got
do to cope, because this is I have lost so much
Mm-hmm.
in my life and stuff. I don't have my parents, it to teach me how to really deal with things as an adult.
Yes. Wow.
I feel bad for children that has lupus
Yes.
because you poor thing,
Yes.
you don't know how to deal with the pain, and all your parents could do is just hold you and
Mm-hmm.
tell you, baby, it's gonna pass. So
So
as a lupus warrior, being an adult, I want to tell you, child, it's gonna pass. Yes, it hurts, but it's
yes,
gonna pass, and you're gonna get up and you're gonna do what you gotta do.
what
School
you
is important. I just want to make that known. School is important. So don't let that pain, that joint pain, or having to keep going, missing school to go back and forth to rheumatologist. You got this.
Yes, I'm definitely happy that you mentioned the kids. It has to be hard on them. They probably can barely express themselves. They don't know what's going on. Basically, they growing up like this is their life, and to hear probably the doctors tell them, "Well, you got this for life."
Right.
That'd be the hardest thing to hear as a child. Bad enough an adult, but a child, I couldn't imagine being told that. You know, have did you notice that you had ever had problems when you was younger as you look back?
The only issue that I had was high blood pressure. I've been having high blood pressure since I was 16.
Wow.
I've always been a stressor.
Yes.
I've always been a stressor. My mom was a diabetic and she was blind. So I would have to take care of her. I was always worried about her. My mama had to do dialysis, but it's still new to me because my mom, she concealed it.
Yes.
She tried to hide things from me and my sister, and but being a little nosy black kid and stuff, I've always found a way to figure out what was going on, because once again, you my mama. I'm
Mhm.
taking care of you,
Right.
you
You
know,
got.
and and it was that was difficult, and that stress of trying to help my dad take care of my mom and stuff. I didn't get a chance to be a child.
Yes.
I had to grow up fast, so that developed the high blood pressure and being pre-diabetic and stuff. Because my dad, he wasn't cooking, so I would have to
Yes.
cook. So so I'm cooking fried chicken and fried fish, and occasionally throwing in some green beans in there, and eating all that bad food and stuff. And he taking us out to eat the Chinese places and stuff, to buffets. And once again, we still not eating right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what caused, and then stress at school with being teased, because I was
Yes.
I was heavy set, and my dad couldn't afford to buy me, name brand clothes. I would go shop at the Purple Heart to get my school clothes. And in my mind, I'm saying to myself, shoot, my mama at home sick.
Right.
I ain't worried about these
Yes.
clothes. As long as I ain't got no hole in it, I'm
Yes.
good. But at late at night, it did affect me and stuff. Like, it did affect me and stuff, to where it stressed me out, to where it was times where I wanted to just pass out. But
Yes.
and my blood pressure was in the 200s.
But
Being
yeah.
being being at the age 17. So they was giving me medicine ever since then, and I just been on that road with so many health problems and stuff, and I just ignored it, because I just kept saying, I gotta grind.
Yes.
I don't want to be where I was. I'm trying to get to something better. I'm gonna have a child pretty soon, and I
Mm-hmm.
and I need to give her better than what I was trying to get. So I ignored my blood pressure being in the twos, because they'll tell me, "You okay? You
Mm-hmm.
walking around, girl? You need to be in the hospital somewhere,
Yes.
But I'm just ignoring the blood pressure. I'm like, come on, do my physical, because I gotta go to work a little bit later,
Right.
you know. So I'm doing better. I'm doing better to
That's
not put work first and put my health first.
that's awesome. That's definitely awesome. It definitely seemed like stress could have definitely, made the lupus come on out with all that you had to go through. At what age were you? And my condolences when your mother had passed.
My mom, she passed away when I was 14, going on 15.
I can see why you started going through the high blood pressure, then that's a lot. That's
It is.
definitely a lot.
It is, but I push through it and stuff, because
Mhm.
I look at my children, and I say this all the time. Bro, I gotta push through this damn lupus and stuff, because my kids,
Yes.
they hear, and they looking at me and stuff. They so used to seeing me smiling and
Yes.
singing, and talking mess, to they dad and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. They used to that. And when I'm in that hospital bed, I gotta tell you this. Well,
Yes.
when I found out that I had gastroparesis, and I was throwing up so much, I wanted to give up. I was in that. I went off on the doctor first, before I had that moment,
Mm-hmm.
because he kept put pushing it off, like
Yes.
like you here again. And I told him, I said, hold on. First of all, I need you to check your attitude, because your bedside manners is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm coming in here to tell you that I keep throwing up, and you keep telling me, oh, well, maybe you ate some, or it could be your lupus. And they got to the point to where I was saying, I don't give a damn if it's my lupus. I want you to
Right.
tell me
Thank you.
what's wrong with me and stuff. So I said, matter of fact, you can leave, and give me another doctor, because I don't know why I'm arguing with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got me a doctor, and he told me what was wrong with me. And then I laid down in that bed, and I say, I want to give up. I quit. please, Lord, take me now.
Wow.
I'm done with all the pain. We keep going back and forth to the doctors. I'm sick of y'all poking on me and stuff. I'm
Yes.
done. And my son, he was 7 at the time. He
Mm-hmm.
said he leaned over and he wiped the tears off my face and he said, "Mama, please keep fighting. Keep fighting. Remember, we going on vacation and we supposed to see the sunset together. You promised me. So keep fighting." I cried one more time and I said, "Okay, son, you got it. You got it, player. I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
I'm gonna do. I promise. I'm not gonna give up." So with that, that's what pushed me more to push out what lupus is and how it affects, especially moms,
Yes.
how it affects us. I just want people to know what I'm going through on a day-to-day basis. That just because you see me smiling and I'm cracking jokes all the time doesn't mean that I'm not sick on the inside, that my body doesn't hurt, that I'm literally smiling hard because it hurts, because I don't want you to judge me. Cause the first thing somebody say, "Oh, you don't look like you sick," but baby, I am. I be wanting to say my ass hurt. I be wanting to I be wanting to be real about it and stuff, and that's why I be on Facebook and I be on Instagram and TikTok because I want people to know. I need y'all to know what people with lupus go through, the pain that we have to go through, the doctors we have to go through. So that's why I'm grateful for being on this podcast. I've been watching your podcasts and stuff, and the questions that you ask be hitting on the nail.
Yes, like you got me over here about to tear up. Like I definitely, I'm glad that you calm down, baby. I'm so glad you can say hey. I'm so glad that you mentioned all this, and when you mentioned your 7-year-old, your son, he told you to keep fighting. It just got me, it touched me a lot because you know what I'm saying. It's a lot. Like we have to keep fighting for our kids, and we don't fight for nothing else. You know, do the mic? It sounds funny on here. Keep talking.
Yes, it's lagging.
Can you hear me well?
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry, but like my son to be 7 the end of this year, and he's my, he's why I'm still fighting right now. My other girls, they're not at home with me anymore, so I still have to fight for my son. He keeps me going. I'm glad to hear how you say your kids be ready to hop in the car with you. They want to make sure you're safe and you're careful. See, mine, he don't like to go to the store, but one thing about him, out of everybody else, he gonna make sure he see my arm brace and stuff on. He kisses my arm, mama. I hope you feel better. I know that he's realizing like his mama got some type of illness. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he really used to that because I'm always trying to act like I'm so strong and going on, but lately I haven't been able to be as strong as I normally would be. So it may take somebody 20 minutes to do, it may take me 2 hours now. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of just lupus. We never know when that lupus is gonna flare up, how it's gonna act up. We always gotta try to put a smile, no matter how much we, like you said, joke, put a smile on. People don't know what go on behind them closed doors. Once the camera's off, this wig, everything else off. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I just
Girl,
want
you
to be
see, I need a twist out. Ugh.
I'm just thinking to myself, I may need to go and give me some dreads or something. I can't take all this hair. This ain't me. But I knew by me starting this podcast, I wanted to look a little decent in front of the camera. So let me try, buy me a few wigs or whatever. At least I can throw it back off. You know, I can't do all this. I
Right.
really can't. Doing it. We get kind of hot and stuff. We're having this lupus, and we already don't need that touching all over our skin.
Yes.
Um, we have to definitely be careful out there in the sun, wherever, even putting things on our bodies, whatever we put in our bodies, we have to be careful. You mentioned stress. Stress is definitely a big factor, and it can definitely flare up our lupus. You know, I have definitely noticed more of my lupus flaring up. I don't know if it's due to stress. I do have, you know, we have problems that we have to go through that everybody don't know about, but behind closed doors, we may have to cry about it. But out here, we're putting on a smile, like everything okay, you know. And with lupus, we can't stress like that. So
Right.
we did have to have a supportive system. It's not like you have a, you know, your kids is very great support system for you, your husband. You know, I'm definitely glad to hear that. And what are some of the common symptoms you experience, and how do it affect your daily activities?
Okay, so my common symptoms are, the joint pain, the
Yes,
the fatigue. Oh my God, when I tell people the fatigue is real, the fatigue
yes,
is real. It's like it's like my head been knocked off and I can't concentrate. The
wow,
fog brain. I
yes,
I swear my husband be trying to tell me stuff and
mhm,
and be like, you remember, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, forgive, and
yes,
like it's like if it's not the important stuff,
mhm,
like doctor's appointments, you know, I'm not gonna remember it.
yes,
You have to do something. Be like, oh, I remember when such, you know, but the fog brain is real, and then it's
it
the
is,
like I said, it's the lack of being able to eat. I've had
yes,
the gaining weight and stuff.
mhm.
When you take prednisone, then
Here you
it
go. I
blows you
remember you
up.
mentioned it.
It
I
it
know it.
it blows you up. And
Yes,
my rheumatologist done changed my dosage on my prednisone. I can count on my hand. I done went from 5 to 20 multiple times because
yes,
it's like my flare-ups would be, it'll be cool, it'll die down, it'll be like, okay, I'm gonna let you breathe, and then she'll like take it down. but
yes,
but as soon as the pain, it's because it's always my ankles, is all
mhm,
because I stand up a lot. I'm a cashier, and then I'm a provider, home health care
yes.
provider, so I'm always on my feet.
And that's
So
hard.
so it's my ankles hurt, my knees hurt, my lower back hurt, my hands, they always cramping up to
Yes,
where
this has been happening to me lately.
they always because I have to do, my kids got hair, so I have to do their hair all the time, and
Wow.
I always, and I make this joke. It's always that damn left hand they wanna cramp up as soon as I'm wrapping their rubber band around
Yeah.
that ponytail, and then I be like, ooh, and my husband be looking at me like, you okay? I'm just going through the motion. Just lupus is talking to me right now.
Yes.
But those are symptoms that I've done had and stuff so far and stuff. It's just like now it's just new stuff
Mm.
that's pop, like with my we're doing dialysis.
Yes.
you know I never expected for my kidneys to give out because my husband makes sure that your girl drink water.
Yes.
If I try to pick up a soda, he'll smack it out my hand.
Ah.
He be like, here, water. You need
Yes.
water for your skin. He'll list the whole reasons why you need water.
That's
You know,
good.
I never. It's just lupus. The lupus done got to my kidneys and stuff. I didn't think it was gonna be me. I didn't think I was gonna be sitting in that chair with nine other old people. That because I'm the youngest,
Yes.
and they give me the same script all the time. Baby, why are you here? How old are you? I'm 33. Oh, just too young to be going through this
Mm-hmm.
all the time. And I'm saying to myself, shoot, you ain't never too old to have lupus.
You got that right. They
You
don't
ain't
know
never
about that.
you ain't never too old to have lupus. It just happened. That's just the way I explained it. It just happened. But I'm
Yes.
I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it. I got this tube in my chest and the tube in my arm for them to do dialysis and stuff. And they just hook me up and my brain just get to going. That I'm here. I'm here. I be saying, well, I'm here now. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do this. Let's get through these 5 hours of sitting in this chair. I'm just I'm not sad anymore. I understand how lupus work.
Mm-hmm.
I understand how she work. Cause she like a female. She bipolar
Oh
and
yeah.
and ready to scrap.
What you say? She
You
definitely
know.
bipolar.
Yes. Yes. She be having her period every day.
Ooh, you got that right. You definitely got that
So
right.
I
It's
so
terrible.
so I just want everybody to please don't feel bad about being diagnosed with lupus. It's I hate to put it like this and stuff, but this is just part of our life. This is what God bestowed on us.
Yes.
Sometimes he bestowed it on us and stuff so that we can help somebody else that's going through it so their process can be a little bit more easier.
Amen.
Instead of us being like that damn lupus today and stuff, just I fuck her, but I
Yeah.
need you to be like, no, I'm good. See
Mm-hmm.
another person and be like, how can I make your process more easier?
Yes.
I can tell you what to do when you in pain. I can tell
Mhm.
you what to do when you're nauseated. Take some ginger for your nausea. Take some turmeric to minimize the pain of,
Yes.
of your joints. It's not gonna take it away, sweetheart,
True.
but it's gonna minimize it.
Mm-hmm.
We're all sisters and brothers in this lupus war.
Yeah.
So we gotta be there for each other. No
True.
no no matter what. I be on Facebook all the time, and the followers the stories that they tell me and stuff. My God, thank you for sharing that with me and stuff. So when my time comes, I can be prepared. And,
Yes.
and I can be prepared. I won't be looking crazy like I was and stuff
True.
when I found out that my kidneys was giving out.
Yes. Wow.
This podcast is to inform you what lupus people going through. People that got fibromyalgia and stuff. You,
Yes.
you know, it's so many autoimmune diseases and stuff that we really need to let the world know that it is stopping us from
True.
being like you. Since some people want to separate that our condition is stopping us from being like you.
True. So true. Because a lot of people just don't understand lupus. Some of them don't know about lupus. You can grow up where you can actually be around a person, but they'll think you may have gone crazy or you
Hmm.
addict. They don't
Yes,
understand. I remember
yes,
times that I was trying to explain myself. I got tired of trying to explain myself and let people know what's going on with me and that this is real. That I had to stop trying to explain myself. Sometimes you have to just stray away from certain people because the last thing you need is negative in your life or stress
exactly,
in your life. So everybody
exactly,
understand you. That's fine. Just keep on kicking it, keep on stepping or whatever. Make sure you do have you some friends or family members, whoever it is, make sure they're positive and they're there to help you
yes.
through it, and
And
not
they do their
down.
research. If it was, I'm telling you, my husband, he
Mhm.
researches
That's good.
whatever, like, because
Hmm.
sometimes in the beginning it got to the point to where I was so tired, all I could do was sleep, and
Wow.
then when I go to sleep and I
Hmm.
wake up, I'm still tired.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, bro, you just slept for a whole 8 hours and stuff. I say, I know, but I'm still tired.
Yes.
I'm exhausted, you know. And and I'm shout out to my sister Tierra. That's my best friend going on 20 years now.
Good.
And she, every time that your girl ended up in the hospital, she always tried to find all kind of remedies for any ailment. She was like,
Yeah.
have you tried to go raw food? Have you tried to smoke weed? She tried. Like this.
Yeah.
She would send me all kind of YouTube videos and Instagram videos of people saying, "Hey, I took this medicine and I don't have lupus no more." You
Yes.
know, I hear that. I hear that crazy stuff all the time, especially in my inboxes and in my messages. Boy, I'm telling you, if there was a cure for lupus, I would jump. I would jump on it.
I'm telling you.
I would really jump on it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Everyone
know,
want a cure.
come on. Hey, I'm
Yes.
if you got a cure, please please stop by Instagram and Facebook and look up girl EJ's Lupus Warrior, so I can spread the news that there's a cure. But unfortunately and stuff, I'm gonna need y'all to stop playing. You know,
Yes.
because we want this to be over.
We definitely do. We would love for it to be over. It's not that simple. Yeah, I've changed my lifestyle. As time go on, I continue to change, in different ways. So right now I'm all plant based. It's been about 2 years for that, but I've been basically mostly raw, 90% raw for the past
Hmm.
probably 70 some days now. And it's still gonna take some time. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'll just flip back over to the bad food because it may don't seem like it's always working. But
Hmm.
we have to do something to make a change for ourselves.
Exactly.
We didn't get this way overnight. It's gonna take some time to, get ourselves together. And right now, the main thing is being able to manage. Manage your
Right.
condition the best way as possible. Yes, I have faith that there is a cure going to be out there, that we can heal. I do believe. But have I found it?
Nope.
No, but I'm still believing, I'm still hoping, and I'm still pushing for it
Yeah.
daily by making sure I do what I'm supposed to do with my body. At least I can say before I leave this earth or whatever, I did what I had to do. I did
Exactly.
what I had. I used to be on Black and Miles. I used to smoke. I had to change that, but it wasn't easy. I did it because I had got pregnant with my son. So
Right.
help remove, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I don't know how. Like
It's not
I
easy.
keep telling myself, like, when I found out I was pregnant with that big head boy, I
Yeah,
stopped. I
yeah,
stopped and then it took me like maybe I'm over exaggerating, but
yeah,
it took me 5 years, to start back smoking.
yes.
It's and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The the
Mhm.
the reason why I smoke cigarettes and stuff is
Correct.
because it keeps me from going off on somebody, and it keeps me. I can think. I can think.
Hmm.
I can make better decisions when I get that cigarette. I can you just. I be like, hold on, wait. I'm gonna answer you. Hold on,
Yeah.
just give me a minute because I don't want to give you the wrong answer because but people come talk to me
Uh
and
huh.
they tell me their problems and stuff, and I have to smoke a cigarette just so I can process all that drama that they done laid on me,
Wow.
you
Yeah.
know, and just dealing with work,
Uh
dealing
huh.
with work and they BS,
Yes. The
you
work can
know.
definitely do it too.
Yes, I tell people, and I'm just trying to make you laugh. My
Hmm.
I tell people all the time that cigarette is my personality in the stick. You know,
Yeah.
that's my personality in the stick and stuff. Because all I want to do is make you laugh. So if
Yeah.
you so So let me smoke my cigarette, so I can stay that
Mhm.
hippie, peaceful person
Yes.
that I am.
That's how I am with weed. I used to smoke weed, but I finally stopped. But I only take the tinctures. But for real, to cope, I had to smoke. Like to cope with my kids, to cope with anybody. Like for
Yes,
real, calm me down,
yes, because I'm going
stress,
to snatch them up.
body pain, all that. Like
Yes,
your anxiety. I gotta smoke. You right,
but
like
and with lupus, anxiety is the worst. It's
yeah,
just you
it
have
is.
all these questions in your head. But do I? Especially when you go out in public, you be like, man, do I look like I'm hurting and stuff, or
Yeah,
can you tell that I feel so insecure about my body because I done gained weight from the
yeah,
prednisone, or my
yeah.
skin breaking out and stuff like that. Like I recently had a flare up to where I had that butterfly rash from my ear to
Wow.
ear, and it burned whenever my hair would touch it. It will burn. And so they I had, I had to go to my little specialist, that
Mhm.
I had to give up that hot little $75,
Yeah.
to see her,
Mhm.
and she gave me that cream, and it works, and
That's good.
it works and stuff. I've never had the butterfly rash before. I've had everything else
Yeah,
that,
me too. I
but
haven't.
I've never had the butterfly rash until recently.
Mhm.
And I feel, and I be seeing some pictures on Instagram, how it peels, and I'm sorry for y'all pain, because I felt that pain. I be sitting in front of the air conditioner trying to, you
Wow.
know because it burns
Mhm.
and stuff. So yeah, because some people always think that butterfly rash is the only symptom that
Yeah.
determines that you have lupus.
Right. You're right. Some people do think that way.
Because like I said, I've been having lupus since
Mhm.
2019, and I ain't get it
And ain't no one lupus always alike.
right.
I have been hearing a lot of symptoms that we go through, like, but everybody's still different. Everybody go through symptoms at different times, or some people go through worse things. Some people go through, like all types of different stuff. Like I haven't felt that, but I've had my scalp to burn. Wow, my hair used to fall out.
Right.
You know, it didn't bleed.
Exactly.
I know somebody with lupus. Her scalp used to bleed and different things, and they used to scare me so bad because I didn't want my scalp to, what I'm saying, get like that. But it
Right.
used to burn real bad,
Exactly.
and I had to change what I was using on my skin, my
Hmm.
head. Like I had to go all natural. Like
I
even when
use that cocoa butter, or that Vaseline and stuff,
Mhm.
like, or sometimes that Dove lotion, because this, like that, or
Yeah,
really when I take a bath, I have to use that Avena.
yes,
That's the only soap that doesn't make my face or my skin feel like it's burning when
wow.
when I'm going through a flare up.
Hmm.
And sometimes, when I'm going through my flare up, I can't even put lotion on, because it make lupus sometimes makes my skin feel unbearable, to where my skin feels clean,
Hmm.
and that's that anxiety, really.
Yes,
That's that anxiety, kicking in.
yes,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to be a people person. I can get along with anybody,
yes.
but since I've had my lupus, I prefer to stay home.
I
Don't
see.
I only get out because of these kids, because I
Mhm.
know that my kids need to be stimulated and
Yes.
be around other people. So we have taken them to Vegas. We have taken them to Kima Boardwalk. I mean, we would end up going to Kima, and I messed around and got a job,
Yes.
against my family will. My husband was like, "I sent you down there to get a drink, not a full time job." You know, I j- you know I don't, not now. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like being around people.
Yeah.
Now. because I feel so insecure with my lupus.
Yes.
But I pushed through it and stuff. I pushed through it because I gotta be that same person that I was before I had lupus. Cause like my husband say, lupus don't make me. I make lupus. I
Yes.
make it move.
Yes. It's
So
definitely
I gotta
valid.
be that same person. I gotta be that goofy, that
Yes.
I love everybody type person.
Yes. We definitely have to
Even
change our mindset. Like,
yes,
if we don't, have a positive mindset, it can definitely affect us. We always got to be around some type of motivation. Have motivational people around us. Listen to motivational things. I like listen to like a lot of gospel. It just to help with my anxiety, and I take my herbs, which definitely it helps me out a lot, calm me down, calm some of my body pain down. Because if not, you go crazy in this world. Like
yes,
you definitely
yes.
go crazy.
Be walking around with a chicken with your head cut off.
Woo, what you say? Like for real. So people don't really know when what we go through unless we tell them. And like
Right.
I said, everybody may not believe, but some people will, and some people need to hear because somebody may have been undiagnosed, misdiagnosed. They don't know what they're going through, and they need to hear this. Let me go ask my doctor. The test that y'all go do, and it's ANA test, and it's a few different tests that they do, but
Yes.
sure, you ask them for like an ANA test. So what are your future outlooks? Like, what are your hopes for the future regarding lupus research and treatment advancements?
Well, I'm hoping for sure, like anybody else, that they find a cure,
Right.
and I hope that with the treatments that they'll minimize it to one
Yes.
to one particular treatment.
Yes.
Figure this out. The
True.
government done gave y'all so much money to figure this out and stuff. If you can't cure us and stuff, at least find a treatment that's not gonna remove my hair or make my hair grow faster, make my eyebrows, grow
Yes.
faster. You know, something.
Yes.
I know. I'm just gonna be honest and stuff about it and stuff. We ain't gonna find no cure today, and,
Yes.
and, and we might not find no cure 10 years from now. But when you do find the cure and stuff, please make it affordable. I,
Yes.
th- that's what I really expect,
Yes.
for
That's a
it
good one.
to be affordable, because not all of us is on Medicaid. I
True.
have to pay out of pocket for my insurance and stuff, and even when I go to my specialist, I still gotta fuck over some money, and
Yes.
then gotta pay for the 100 medicines that I have to take. So that's what I'm really expecting for the future, that they'll minimize the treatments, and
Mm-hmm.
and that it would, when they do find a cure, make it affordable.
True. And yeah, and don't treat all us like guinea pigs. Like, don't test everything on us. You feel me? That's why I
Right.
can strayed away from medicine for a while, because it's gonna bring more symptoms of being on that the steroids. Like you said, it blow you up. I also think it affect my bones a whole lot. Like, it's
Hmm.
like the more medicine they put you on, the more symptoms you come up with. And it's
Right.
like, is it the lupus or is it the medication? They need
Right.
to get together, because once I start, a lot of us, we don't really pay attention to what the symptoms can cause from the medications when we get our medication and stuff. But when you really start reading, you be like, dang, is this the symptom of the medication? Because I wasn't feeling like this before.
Right.
So,
I was
that's
feeling good yesterday, but now I got a headache. That prednisone, I have to depend on that prednisone, because
yes,
that prednisone stops the pain in my
yes,
hands. So
yes,
I have to make sure, if I don't take that baby, if I miss
yes.
miss 124 hours to
Wow.
tomorrow and stuff,
Uh-huh.
I look, I'm the creeper.
Yes.
I'm the creeper, because all my hands get to trying to close up, and so I have to take the prednisone.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it don't swell me up no more. It don't give me the fat face.
Yeah.
My fat face now is because I still I got fluid, so
Yeah.
I still need more dialysis treatment.
Yes.
So that prednisone is a booger, and I'm pretty sure this your Plaquenil.
The Plaquenil, yeah, I used to be on it.
I ain't gonna even lie to you. If Google wasn't my best friend, I
Yeah.
wouldn't I wouldn't I wouldn't know why I'm taking Plaquenil. Well, my medicine is Plaquenil, but it's called
Mhm.
hydrochloroquine.
Yeah.
You know, so if I didn't have Google, I wouldn't
Mhm.
know why or what I was taking. Please, y'all, I need everybody to start Googling their medicines. Because yes, when you go to the pharmacy, they have like this little paper behind the paper, the bag that tells you what your medicine is and what it's for and what it could do to you. But
Yeah.
but I would prefer for everybody to do more research than looking at that paper that the pharmacists give you and stuff. Because you know, Plaquenil is for malaria, you know, and also it's supposed to treat our lupus and stuff like that. I take that baby 2 times a day, and I still be saying to myself, what does this medicine do?
I haven't really discovered yet. I'm just gonna be honest. If anything, I feel like it messed up my eyesight worse. So.
Right. I had methotrexate.
Hmm.
Methotrexate is real bad for pregnancy. For pregnancy and getting and trying to get pregnant.
Yes.
You not don't you tell that doctor and stuff, don't you dare give me methotrexate because it's that's bad. That's the worst mess you can take because you like you said, you feel like you losing your eyesight. That's one
Hmm.
of the symptoms that comes from methotrexate.
Wow.
Like I would say 4 years in to
Mhm.
having lupus, I really started asking questions because,
Yeah.
like I said, I got tired of
Hmm.
taking all these medicines just every day. I have to ask my 10-year-old, "Hey, mom, can you get mama medicine together?"
Yes.
She get my medicine together in the morning, and if I forget, she'll get it together and stuff like that because it's so many tops to
Yeah.
to to remember. And I'm not one of them people that had like that little medicine dispenser
Yeah.
with the days of the week on it.
Uh huh.
I'm not the type of person that's who remembers that little pocket. So I keep them in my little Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna make you laugh about it. In my Ziploc bag,
Yeah.
it's all my medicine. You
Yeah.
know, my husband even got slick and start writing on it and saying you take this,
Wow.
don't take this.
Yes.
He does that. So be aware of your medicines, what's going into your body and stuff.
You
Because
have
cause, cause, cause like you said and stuff, you don't know if the symptoms is coming from lupus or it's coming from that medicine because you taking this every day, and
yes.
and and they don't really explain the symptoms that you get from medicine.
That's my problem with the doctors at times. Why not explain to us like before you prescribe these medications? Like, listen here, you may have worse symptoms after you start taking these medications.
Right.
So let it be up to your choice. We should have a
Right, give
choice.
me a cliff note. Give me a cliff note.
Yeah.
Just like here, like when I was in the hospital,
Hmm.
them nurses was so real, and that's what I like. I want somebody to tell me the
Yeah.
the the good, bad, and the ugly, and
Right.
they'll tell me, what you taking and stuff. Go easy on it. I'm
Hmm.
not supposed to tell you this and stuff because I can lose my job.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, and I just I take it.
Yes.
I take it. So, you know, just please, read the, if you gotta read the back of the, like when you buy Tylenol, if you gotta read the back of the bottle and stuff, you should and stuff, because sometimes I don't feel like lupus is always our problem.
Yes.
We gotta eat right, watch what we taking. Y'all, I will tell y'all to exercise, but me, I just walk. I
Yeah, this is
I
what you
just walk.
said.
And I
Yeah.
don't be doing all that heavy lifting and stuff, cause your girl not as strong as she used to be. So I
Yes.
so I gotta walk, and
Yes.
I got a big old dog,
That's
so
what's
that forces me to walk. Come on, mama, let's walk. You
that's
know, like I said, eat, exercise. You know, talk to a therapist, or
yeah.
or or because we can't always talk to our family. We
True.
can't always tell them how I feel, because all they gonna tell us is what we don't want to hear,
What you
and
say?
and what we don't want to hear is what we want to hear. If you know what I'm talking about, you
Yes.
know. So talk to a therapist and stuff, because you're not in this,
True.
alone. You're not in this alone. Yes, you got other lupus warriors and stuff that you can talk to and stuff, so they can console you on these things.
Yes.
But get a professional to give you tools
That's true.
of how to go step by step to get back to the person that you are. Because I know that you bad. You bad. You bad because
Yes.
you getting through this. So you bad.
Yes. Definitely. I'm glad you brought up having a therapist. It comes in handy. It definitely does. I had to have me a therapist like what about a year or two ago, and
I still
it
got
was a
one.
relief.
I
It was a
I
relief.
still got
Yes.
one. And
Yes.
she deal with my joking.
That's
She deals
good.
with my joking and stuff. We need them, because all the stuff that we have to go, especially
You
all the
right.
stuff that I have to brush off my shoulder to not explode. You,
Mm-hmm.
you need that therapist and stuff,
True.
so that she can tell you, you right.
Mm-hmm.
She tell you right, and then she tell you, you could have done this a little bit more better.
Yes.
I'm not saying this stuff, that you right or wrong,
True.
but I'm just trying to give you a tool of how can you rewind that next time.
Yes.
You
I used to love my therapist. I'm not gonna lie. So it feels good to have somebody you know what I'm saying, tell you the truth and to help you out. They're professionals, so it's
Yes,
good. You can't always, like you said, talk to your friends or family about everything. Sometimes it's good to have professionals come in, and it's not gonna be on that level, so you ain't got to worry about falling out with your family or your friend. You know what I'm saying?
yes, yes, cause I know that my husband,
Yes.
yeah, he ain't gonna say it,
Yeah.
but I know he tired of hearing me complain about, oh man, my head hurt. My
Yeah.
hair, oh, my legs hurt. Oh, um, um, they done made me so mad and stuff that my lupus done flared up, and now I feel like I can't walk. You know, he just, he doing the best he can.
Yes.
He don't, my husband don't complain. My husband just take it as it come, and he always ready
That's
for
one.
for for anything. I owe my life to this man and stuff, because every time I make a mistake, he always fix it before it get too bad and out of hand and stuff. So,
Yes.
I need a therapist, so I
Yes.
don't just keep piling my BS on him.
Yes. And it's also important, like you mentioned, your mate. It's important to have a good mate. If you don't have a good mate, you messing up. You
Right.
messing up. I know from
It's
experience,
gonna make it worse.
it definitely will. So I'm glad I now have, somebody in my corner I can't like work like I want to, and it's been definitely hard lately. Like you mentioned about your hands and stuff. Like lately, that's all my hands been doing is cramping up, swelling. I can't hardly make a full fist. I can't open my bottle of water. I hate I didn't get him before he left out of town because now I can't open no bottles of water. I'm stuck.
Right.
For real, I tried my best this morning. I couldn't open that bottle of water for nothing. So I had to go in my refrigerator to get my little juice or whatever. But we have to take our time. And like I said, a great therapist, a great mate, teach our kids that what we were going through. And sometimes they have to have patience. I know it's a struggle. It's not just you. When you have lupus, it's not just you. It's your kids involved, your mate involved, everybody around you basically involved. So we got to take it easy. Do you have any final message for the listeners before we close out?
All right, all right. So my message is to please go to the doctor. If you don't know if you have lupus and stuff, please go to the doctor. And for those who do have lupus, you a star. You are a star. Keep shining and know that you can do it.
Yeah.
And as I always say, I send you love, hugs, and so many prayers.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, we definitely thank you so much for coming on. It's not always easy to be open up about what you're going through, but by the grace of God, you came out here and you told everybody your story. And I know that it will definitely help someone. And like you said, all we can do is pray about it, keep going, stay motivated, keep shining. And for our kids, we have to keep going. So I pray that you feel better and that we do get a cure. And you have a great Mother's Day tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I gotta work, but
Yes,
my kids has always been my gift. I don't need
yes,
anything. They are
I
my
know.
life.
Yes, that's wonderful. They are our gift. So I agree with that. So, you take it easy and continue to rest when you can. You have
All
a blessed one, EJ. I
you
appreciate
too. I send you love. I
you.
send you love. It's so
Yes,
many
see you.
hugs. All right.
Yes, same here. Have a blessed one.